She blinked and wiped her palm on her hip, easing herself into the seat across from me. I wasn't jealous of her beauty. That wasn't it at all. I'd grown accustomed to the gorgeous. They were everywhere in my work, filtering through the waiting rooms of the entertainment industry, their cheekbones and long layers bowed toward scripts and iPhones. They whispered to themselves and emoted silently, and were often objects of ridicule until they became wives or became successful. But outside my world, even a few miles down the 10 freeway at Doug's office, the simple, supple fact of Chloe would have been a confrontation. She'd have stood out as a goddess amid the scattering of hip nerds and tech bros and fierce young women in communications. I couldn't picture a scenario where he wasn't sleeping with her. She made a show of looking around my office, opening her arms to the space. "I love this building," she said. "Is that a real Calder in the lobby?" "What do you think?" "Okay," she said, nodding to herself. She was silent another moment before starting off in a shaky voice. "I guess I'll tell you about me. I've been in LA 2 years. I'm the receptionist at Beyond the Brand, Doug's company. But that's just my day job. My real work is with this group, Common Parlance. We're performers. Well, we don't call ourselves performers, really. We do pop-ups, but not like a restaurant pop-up. It's immersive. We wear carnival masks." There was something odd in her manner. Her hands were trembling along with her voice, and her eyes kept fluttering to her lap. The people I normally dealt with were so slick, I almost didn't recognize the behavior of a nervous person. I pushed my chair from my desk and sat back, taking a better look at Chloe's outfit. Her tank was thin cotton, like something that came in bulk packaging. Her skirt was pilling at the waist. She needed a pedicure. She trailed off as I looked her over and chewed the inside of her thumb. "So you do happenings?" I offered. "I guess you could call them that." "What would you call them?" "We're trying to figure it out. I like guerrilla theater, but nobody else does. Whatever happened to plain old performance art, right?" Her smile was goofy friendly. "How old are you?" I asked. 24. "I don't believe you." "I am. I don't like lying about that stuff. I think—" "Never mind." "What were you going to say?" "It's stupid." "Go on." "Oh, gosh, it's just that I'm trying to approach everything in life like I approach my art. I want to make sure everything I do is real, you know?" I focused on her eyes. They were round and clear, with a lack of guile that would have been charming in someone a few years younger. Maybe she wasn't having sex with Doug. "Like, if you're mostly telling the truth," she said, "and that's what we do as artists, right? Tell the truth?" "I'm not an artist." "But you work with them." "Actually, I work with experts. Psychiatrists, former FBI agents, people you might see on a talk show." "Oh," she said and looked confused. She edged to the front of her chair. "Well, I have this belief that if there's something fake in there, people will see it. Even subconsciously, they'll know something is wrong." No, I decided. She was too sincere. She'd never have been able to pull off this meeting if they were having an affair. I felt a ball of warmth inside me then, solid and radiating and about the size of a lemon. That was how big the pregnancy book said the baby was now. I was 4 months along. I hadn't told Doug. I brought my hand to my belly. It was barely perceptible, the tightening, the roundness under my palm. I wasn't going to be able to keep it secret much longer. But Doug knew. Of course he did. The one time he didn't clear his internet search history, I saw what he'd written. Wife hiding pregnancy. I could tell him now. We could start being honest with each other, because Doug had sent Chloe to me as a sign, a peace offering, an example of someone he could have slept with but had chosen not to. I moved both hands to my desk and straightened, overcome with an unfamiliar sense of well-being. "Tell me then, how can I help you?" I asked. "I was hoping you..."